Thank you for joining in big numbers with a short notice. It's my pleasure actually to meet all of you, and more of you learn and understand about this career. I can assure you, you can do wonders in your field. One always wonders that what would be a career for a commerce graduate, chartered accountant, cost accountant, and invariably people speak about taxation more than anything else. At least 90% of the people who do articleship go through the taxation work. So when somebody says that 70% of the vacancies in market, in job market, are for IFRS and Ind AS, one can get surprised. But I am making this statement for last 7 years and started making it more confidently last 7 years. Once most of my alumni students started getting jobs in this field. So today we are going to know how a career can make a difference in our life. Obviously, I am not talking about engineers. I am not talking about medical students. I am not talking about people who want to go in journalism, want to become pilot, want to become hotel management. Yes, they are the new great areas. But the slots in those industries are limited. So one needs to understand that if we are getting the slots of learning a particular skill set, then we are bound to be doing wonders. How? Let me share with you some statistics. Okay. Before I go to my formal presentation, let me go to a small statistics. And I'll use my toy called window journal. So let me share my window journal. This will also give you an idea as to how the examples are explained on the whiteboard. If you are were to have a classroom, then how you would have learned? Same way this has been taught. The beauty of this lecture is that the speaker is never showing back to the students, because when there are people writing, they show the back, the teacher shows back. Here I write like this in front of you. You are seeing my face also, and you are seeing the what I am writing also. All right. So let us see what is this career we are talking about. Okay, and I am explaining to anybody who has the lowest knowledge about all these things. So we are talking about IFRS, International Financial Reporting Standards. They came into the world in 2005 officially, and initially European Union adopted it, and after that, as of today, 100 plus countries have adopted it. So when 100 plus countries are adopting, many of them adopted it as it is. Some of them adopted it with a convergence, that is making some changes. India adopted it as a convergence. Right. Now today this exam is conducted in 100 countries and in India in 14 cities. All right. Now the procedure of exam, etc., can be discussed at a later stage in this discussion. But I want to unfold with you what difference it can make in your life. So, how did IFRS start for India? The MNCs immediately got covered as soon as IFRS became applicable, 2005 itself. So I remember Bosch, Myco, where I had worked in as early as in 1991, started IFRS immediately in 2006 and 7. Then there are many companies which you must be knowing a sector called KPO, Knowledge Process Outsourcing, and is also called as shared services. They are doing in India the accounting of the MNCs and many other companies all over the world in India. Some of them are doing for banking, some of them are doing for financial services, some of them doing are manufacturing companies. So you will be amazed to know, like information technology, Indians are doing almost 70 to 80% of the work either within India or going out of India. Similar way, today we have reached 30 to 40%, and India is becoming the accountant of the world. So take pride in that. Yeah. So those also started in 2005. Then India, the converge version adopted in 2006, and therefore all listed companies got covered. And then unlisted companies, more than 250 crore turnover. Sorry, net worth got covered. Last year, NBFCs got covered. And sooner banks will get covered. Now, if you see the job table, and I wish I could have done the slide for this, but let me now make it here, the table by way of my hand. Can you all see this? Can one of you unmute and tell me that you can see this? And are you all able to hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. So, here are Big Fours. Here are overseas jobs. Here are MNC jobs. Here are Indian industry jobs. Here are KPOs and shared services. Here are small CA firms. All right. Now, what is happening? Let us take the total jobs for a chartered accountant or a commerce graduate as a total percentage of jobs. If they are 100, let me tell you The big four jobs are 35. The KPO jobs are 30. Overseas jobs are 5. CA firms jobs are 5. कितना हो गया? So the remaining jobs, you can say roughly are 7% here and 8% here. Now that you have understood this, as a percentage, what are, and I repeat, I'm not talking about engineers, I'm not talking about medical, I'm talking about commerce, finance, accounts. Let us break this part into IFRS and Ind AS jobs. Okay, and others. What does IFRS Ind AS job talk about? One, I do a statutory audit of a company which is covered under Ind AS. I am doing consolidation of the accounts. I am doing the accounts of a company more than 250 crore net worth. I am doing a listed company. I am preparing the accounts of a company out of India because I am working in KPO. I am having super CFO services, therefore I am doing the job. All right? Or I am giving opinions on IFRS and Ind AS standards. And somebody like me who is teaching also. So, and when I come to others, what are the jobs? Income tax, GST, banking. What else? Income tax, GST, banking. Banking includes what? Maybe saving account, current account. Do we all realize that compared to a long back when the income tax work used to be very big? Because going to income tax office, getting the refund used to create a big amount of job for the commerce people, finance people. Today everything is digitized and we have come to faceless assessment. Income tax jobs are going down to minimal, except for international taxation, double taxation avoidance agreement. Now, frankly, those jobs which you get only if you have prior experience. What is prior experience? Have you done your articleship in a firm where they have international taxation? And how many firms are like that? Let's say in Mumbai or in India, 10 or 20 firms. Number wise, if there are 1,25,000 accountants who are practicing, big fours have out of that as partners around 1,000. So 1,000 partners taking 10 articles each, 1 lakh. And the remaining 8 to 9 lakhs articles are doing with the firms which have hardly anything on Ind AS and IFRS. And what's happening with faceless assessment? There is no chance for them to get international tax work because international tax work is only top 10, 20 firms. Smaller firms have simple return filings. Where will they get the jobs? Nobody needs them, right? So, and if you see even in the CA line, when I passed in 1980, along with me in Nasik, 9 more people passed. All of them went for practice. In my time, 90% CAs were going for practice. Today you ask, exactly reverse. 90% chartered accountants are going for job. Now, when you have to go for a job, you need to understand thoroughly where are jobs. And therefore, I wrote down these sectors. And I'm talking out of experience of 2,000 to 4,000 students, which have undergone our training from right from 2nd May 2010. I still remember the day I took my first lecture. Okay. And now 10 years are over. Originally, we were in face-to-face classes in Mumbai and Pune. We still are there and will be there, barring lockdown period. But somewhere from 2013-14, we started online, pre-recorded. Okay. And then students from all over India, 129 cities of India and 30 countries of the world have taken our course and have been happy on their careers. So now let me break. GST 3-4 years back, people who got into it got advantage. You are late for GST. So therefore, these others include, can you do the, but if you talk about the banks, the loan appraisal is done in the India's balance sheets. In fact, I have given the trainings to Reserve Bank, State Bank, not only the accountants, but also the people who are checking how much loan to give. Bank of India, Allahabad Bank, UCO Bank, United Western Bank, State Bank are given number of trainings. I think then GPP, Parsik Bank, Abhyudaya Bank, and the number of students who joined our courses from HDFC, from ICICI, from Canara Bank, from Bank of India, from you name it, are quite a lot. Then I have taught in NIBM, National Institute of Banking Management. I have taught in IMC, Indian Merchants. I have taught LIC. Because all those people are now followed. So I can say roughly the statutory audit vacancies are maximum and they are roughly 30 out of 35 and 5 are others. Overseas, all 5 are here. There are 0 here. Why? Because those countries' taxes we don't know. So what we know is accounting, and which has become common after IFRS and Ind AS. Most of the people who went out of India got the jobs overseas, and Indians get jobs where? 3 places. Gulf, Qatar, Kuwait, Saudi Arabia, Nigeria, and some have gone to even Myanmar. Then people going to Europe, different countries. I was in Bulgaria, Serbia, Bosnia, Austria, Hungary, London. I worked there. Then I worked in Singapore, Australia, and America. There also, there is IFRS. Now, in US, you might say US has a US gap. Very right. But US gap and IFRS also has a big convergence. So overseas, all 5 jobs are. MNCs are giving all their tax work to consultants, mostly big 4s. So what do they have? One odd senior person. So any of you who are above 35, 40, perhaps may get a job there. So I'll put 1% here, maybe tax jobs. And then 6% here. Indian industries, tax audit is also handled by accountants. So what is left? And then I recruited some people, originally chartered accountants, thinking that they will get the taxation work. Sorry. For the income tax return assessment appeals, finally the consultant was going. And my person, what he was doing, I'm telling you the story of Blue Star and Cabinet. He was carrying files along with him. And he was doing TDS certificates, uploading. Finally, I said, we don't need a CA for this. So 0 jobs. 8 jobs are here. KPOs don't do countries taxation. So all jobs are here. And CA firms. This is one area, perhaps 3 jobs are here. I would say even 4 jobs are here. But CA firms have the lowest salaries, mind well. Those who want work-life balance, particularly girls if they are married and cannot have a full-time career, cannot sit late, they join the CA firms and they perhaps can think of this. But if your career has to grow in the long term, the CA firm will never help unless you are planning to or likely to be partner there or start your own practice. So 1 I'll put here. Okay. Now make a total. 10. I don't have to calculate 90. Right? Now you will wonder, I'm saying 60-70%, but I'm showing 90%. I did not consider some of the sectors. Which are those sectors? Let's say small companies which do not have Ind AS and IFRS, and they want a simple tally accountant. Okay, they want a simple tally accountant. So if I omit that, then this is the statistics. Now, why I do not want you to be just tally accountants? Because salaries are less. I mean, in my company, the BCom who works on tally, my company is a small company. I pay him 15,000. And last 3 years, no increase in salary. Because if he goes, I myself can handle tally. Why do I need an accountant? But some checks are coming there to be deposited in the bank, some TDS calculations to be done. So if you take the same statistics, including very small companies, okay, very small companies, then you will come to a statistics of 70-30 maximum. Why? There also everything is getting mechanized. Accountants' jobs in small companies are vanishing. Please mind well. Please mind well, with the mechanization, they are vanishing. And secondly, I should consider this only if I am talking about BComs. And if I am talking about CA, CMAs, qualified and semi-qualified, then my stand is 90%. 90% jobs are here. Okay, mind well, 90% jobs are here. Now, if that is the case, then why not their original BCom qualification or a CA qualification help them to get the jobs? Why do deep IFR? I will explain you this with the reason. Are you clear up to here? How majority jobs are here? I have not considered bank also. Bank jobs, yes, bank job, cooperative banks, etc., etc. There can be many clerks job, but nobody recruits CA there except for a CFO position. Okay, and all the CFOs of the cooperative banks have been taught by us. And nationalized bank are anyway working on index, though it is yet to become compulsory for them. So I have also not taken to an extent BFSI sector, banking, financial services and insurance. Okay, but that sector employing chartered accountants is very rare. Most of the places, a financial services sector takes MBA finance than chartered accountants. So if you are, and particularly if you are a semi-qualified CA, I'm sorry, their condition is the worst. They are neither here nor there. अभिमन्यु जैसे चक्रव्यूह में आ फंसे हैं, बाहर भी नहीं निकलते. I know thousands of such cases, but they did deep IFR and got into KPOs and shared services and did their job with wonders. I will reel out the names: JP Morgan, Genpact, WNS, Accenture, Capgemini, eClerx, then Birla Minax, umpteen names. Caliber Point, I'll give you names after names. There's a big, why I should give you? You are all younger generation. You can go to Google and say KPOs. The list of hundreds of companies will appear. Or shared services, huge. There is Mars, there is Atlas Capco, there is BNY Mellon, there is Deutsche Bank, there is Credit Suisse Bank. You name it, and they are filling the vacancies, fully flooded with IFRS and Ind AS knowledge people. Why? Because the finance is gradually becoming a function to be outsourced, not by the MNCs also, even by Indians companies. Do you know Colgate India has 1,000 employees in India, but Colgate KPO, which does Colgate all over the world, accounting in India, they have 3,000 employees. Very हंसने की बात है. Same thing with Vodafone, same thing with Videocon, not Videocon, Volkswagen. The number of trainings I have given to corporates, I'll give you a big list, at least 100, right? And at every sector, mind well, every sector. whether it is real estate or construction or chemical or engineering or electrical engineering or D-Decor like company or Petronas like company or Reliance like company or Tata Motors like company, you name it, we have trained them. Or ABP TV we have trained, Delhi. Okay. And the number of conferences I have been speaker on Ifrs and Indes are unlimited. Despite Corona, last month I went to Bhubaneswar for the Chartered Accountant Institute's program, a regional conference where I spoke on it. Yeah. All right. So having said this, let me move to my formal presentation. I'll take your questions later. Rest assured of that. I will not complete my lecture till I complete last person's last point. Now we have taken a new name post-corona called mentoring finance, because we want to play a role of not just saying, okay, I taught you, my job is over, I have collected fees, I have given you the login access, आप जाने login जाने, आप पास होने तक मैं मदद करूंगा, goodbye. No, I don't do that. At least 1,000-2,000 students are still in touch with me. Last week, one student approached me and he said, sir, I lost the job in Corona. Can you help? I said, yes. He said, sir, how did you have my number? I said, look, I know that you are my Ifrs students because you are in my alumni group. What does that mean? You studied with me in which year I have written here, 2010. After that, I helped you to get the first job. And then at the time of second job also you gave my reference. So rest assured, for your career, either in job or in consulting, all over the world, all over India, anywhere you go, here is a person to help you out for making your professional career excellent. Jokingly, some of my past students said, sir, start matrimony also, because now we are coming to age of marriage. And then, who is the senior most student of my class? Age is 75. So don't be under impression that only youngsters are. Many senior practitioners have learned from us. And I'm happy, sometimes I say that all the big fours are controlled by me. Why? Because my students who learned in 2010, 11, 12 have now become directors and partners in big fours. What more joy I can have. So go to mentoringfinance.com, which is somewhat under construction, and my colleagues Rashi, Pooja, Siddhi, Abhay, Dimple, Pradnya, and Kinjal, all are working on pushing it and making it totally regenerated. This is my WhatsApp number. Preferably, because most of the times I'm in lectures. So preferably, I would request you to send me WhatsApp on any query. If it is an admin related query, how to take admission and all that, catch up Dimple. Okay, here is the number. Do catch up Dimple. But if it is a knowledge query, ask me. Same night I will answer you on WhatsApp. Call generally difficult for me to take. If I take everybody's call, whole day I'll be on calls. I'm a CA, 1980. Cost and management accountant. Those days it was called as ICWA, 1984. CS. I'm a LLB of 1981. We are having Limca record in 2009, published in 2011. Maximum number of participants in an Indes webinar. And then Asia Pacific Award for the maximum city participants in 2020 during Corona. This is my personal ID. Okay. I given 2,500 lectures. Every Saturday, Sunday, I used to teach IFRS. What does that mean? 52 Saturdays, 52 Sundays. That makes it how much? 100 days per annum. And 11 years. So 1100. Plus around 100 clients, industries taught. Around 3 days per client. So they are how much? 100 into 3. 300 days. So like that. And then there are conferences. I have students in 30 countries, 120 days. 250 plus valuation lectures. I'm showing the list of companies where I worked. I worked in USA as a global finance director. I worked with Mukesh Ambani as a business controller. I worked with Mittal Group as Chief Finance Director. I was a CFO of Gammon India, CFO of Blue Star, GM Finance and Mafatlal Group, and started career in Crompton. Why I'm showing all you this, you will learn a lot of examples from those companies. I have 41,000 Facebook friends, 81,000 LinkedIn connections, 21,000 WhatsApp contacts, and 500 plus WhatsApp. And in that, it's full of contacts. You want to get a job, you can easily get, because I will give you a reference if you have done our course successfully. Currently, what you have is a pre-recorded course, self-paced. You can go attend it anytime, anywhere, go through it, anywhere, anytime, via internet. Learn A to Z of IFRS and English. For ACAs and ACMAs, there is a direct admission, eligibility. BCom needs a 2 years experience in finance and or accounting. And all others with 3 years. You can be 12th pass, 10th pass, or uneducated, but 3 years experience. You will need a certificate for that. Then you will ask me, how do I study? Our PowerPoints are enough. They are full of theory and practical. They are exam oriented, plus, many things. Read PPTs, browse recordings, solve past papers, 3-point formula if you ask me from exam angle only. 3-point formula on exam angle. But yes, you have to repeat the recording. As many times you can see it, provided no misuse. Then there are live examples given from the companies where I worked. If you ask me how the Blue Star revenue recognition was done, pre-IFRS and post-IFRS. Or Gammon India, how the toll collection intangible assets, toll collection rights were accounted for after Ind AS, makes a lot of difference. Then my request to you is don't mug up, learn analytically. Learn the logic and spirit and substance behind it. For example, there are 2 types of treatment in many cases. Now, if generally you learn accounting, you will not learn in which situation, which type of a method or accounting policy choice should be made. I have explained that in full details. Similar way, every provision of the standard, let me give an example. Which company prefers to transfer the change in fair value of cash flow age accounting in other comprehensive income, and which company wants in P&L has been explained with the reasons why they prefer that accounting policy. Right. Live examples are given from the implementations which I have done. Then live examples are given from the opinions we are given. Of course, we have hidden the names of companies, but the case studies are actually live. In fact, today itself we gave an opinion that if an Indian company converts its Indian loan into Euro loan, what will happen? Then I have picked up the live balance sheets. L&T, Asian Paints, Reliance, Tata's, you name it. And those examples are taken for the illustrations. Then I worked in different countries, so those examples also are put, whether it is Hong Kong Bank or Mittal Group or American Appraisers. Then I have made the case studies for every item, each expense item, income item, asset item, liability item, equity item. Minimum 3 practical situation. I guarantee you, minimum 3 practical. In fact, I would say 10, but I am talking about very conservative. Because the small standards like, what should I say, inventory, or not even that. Let's say, what should I say? A standard like, let's say, policy estimate errors, where you may not find many examples. Each point you may not have 3 examples. You may not have 10 examples. Then further, what we do is, I mentor you on your biodata if you need a help in getting job. And not now, any time in your life. Where are the relevant vacancies? What is your age, background, qualification, experience? Then I mentor you through mock interviews. Currently, I am taking them through Zoom, and all those who are out of Mumbai, we have to do it through Zoom or something. So with a grand success rate, people have cracked the interview. Whether it is Big Four, somebody like Mr. Choksi, he joined ISAR group in 2010, went to Hajira and worked there. Or somebody in Max Life Insurance who joined, or somebody who joined in Atlas Capital, or somebody who joined in Accenture. Then I mentor you through placement assistance. How? I give you reference in various organizations. Okay? And I taught for every I teach you for every specific interview. Read as many balance sheets as possible. I'm sure nowadays the balance sheets are available online. So therefore you can download them, study them. I will also give you a plethora of balance sheets. Further, illustrative case studies have been created. We are not stopping at saying, oh, read the provision, this is a 5-step recognition like this. No. What is that each step? Don't mug up. And that step, if followed in a particular way or other way, how it will work. Then we want you to learn from other queries also. That's why WhatsApp groups are created. Every month, there will be an online query solving session and there will be a revision webinar. Placement assistance will be given after getting our completion step. You don't need to wait for passing exam. If you stand by, you succeed in my mock interview, you are more than the exam passing. I guarantee you that there are examples. Vidhi Desai got a job in London where husband was transferred. 22,000 pounds per annum. Where are the jobs? Jobs are overseas, Big Four, top 20 firms, MNCs, Indian industry, KPO, shared services. I also provide internship work from home to get a practical exposure. Once you complete your 2/3 syllabus, so you can participate in our work and learn how it is achieved. We are not able to pay. So generally, you have to have a client touch. If you are doing work from office post lockdown, then we can always take you on our roads also. What should you be based at? Consolidation, IFRS, Ind AS, revenue, lease, financial instrument. These are the hot standard. A commerce, a finance guy, a CA, a cost accountant, MBA, finance. If he doesn't have consolidation word in his CV, rest assured, his 70 to 90% job chances are gone. Go to Naukri.com, Monster.com, Glassdoor.com, Indeed.com. You will find plethora of jobs on Ind AS. You will also be guided by the alumni students. I have 4 main WhatsApp groups called Alumni 1, Alumni 2, Alumni 3, Alumni 4. All are full with 256. But I add you to those groups by partition, so that you get a guidance from senior people. Also, there are city-wise groups. Hyderabad group, Bangalore group, Chennai group, Delhi group, Ahmedabad group, Pune group, Nashik group, Nagpur group, Kolkata group, Bhubaneswar group, Chandigarh group, Jaipur group, and Dubai group, Canada group. Recently, 2 people got a job in Canada based on our IFRS done and my alumni students. You go to every country, you go to every industry, you go to any city, there will be help there. So as I said, 4 groups, 1,000 plus alumni are there. Rest of them are too busy. And they are all active. You can hear the interviews of past students. Currently, go to the YouTube called Rammohan Have a courage to follow your heart and instinct and get a great success. This is my face, which you already seen. CA, CMA, CS. IFRS from ICS, 6 Sigma Green Belt, Diploma IFRS from ACCA. I also worked on a lot of ERPs. This is my personal ID. Over to you for asking questions. I am done. Let me see whether in the chat mode are there any questions. Will there be any recording available later? I think my colleague has already replied. Yes. Anybody else? Unmute yourself and start speaking. Those who have questions.
Sir, is it necessary that we have to go in job for getting these assignments, or like a practice we can get these assignments?
Of course you can get. Only thing you have to, you know that in practice, if you want assignments, even for income tax and GST assignments, you need a network. Here also you will need a network. But the number of people who are doing consulting in these areas are limited. So whenever the competition is less, you are bound to have more cream. I would say bread, butter and jam also. Is it clear, Monica?
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Anybody else? Please unmute and speak.
Sir, somebody who has just passed charter accountancy and who takes this course, how much salary, what is the range of salary that they can expect?
I would tell you from the past students' experience. A chartered accountant,
Okay.
I am presuming a rank holder and a first attempt and second attempt I am leaving aside because they are only 5%. The remaining 95% are 2 or 3 attempts or above that. In their case, the normal market salary is 5 to 6 lakhs and the jobs are limited. But if you are CA plus IFRS, Diploma IFRS, ACCA letter, then I can assure you, instead of 5 to 6 lakhs, you can aim at 7.5 to 8.5 lakhs. Roughly as a fresher, 50% jump. And then huge number of jobs. Number of jobs will be, I would say 70 jobs out of 100 are on IFRS. They will call you for interview. Others will not call you for interview. And that is why the course has become so popular that everybody is doing it literally. Am I clear, Vijay?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Please ask as many questions.
Sir, one more question. Okay, this exam, ACCA, we need to appear physically or it will be online?
Okay, let me now close my presentation so that I can explain you in a much better way. Yeah. Now, as far as the exam is concerned, I'm not talking about ACCA. ACCA is a longer exam with 13 subjects. And for a chartered accountant, around 8 are exempt and 4 are there. But we are talking about only one paper required for diploma in IFRS from ACCA. Okay. Now that exam is currently held in June and December. That exam was held handwritten till December 19 at an exam center. The June 20 exam got cancelled. Then they tried September 20, got cancelled. December 20, however, they arranged the exam to be given from home on your own computer. So that attempt was reasonably successful, but now the June 21 attempt, they have kept on computer, but to be given at computer center. So there will be exam center, exam on computer. The exam on computer at home, they found it a little difficult to administer. At the same time, physical exam, the numbers have increased so much that they want to keep it at a computer center only. So it's a mix, the answer is a mixed one. At a center, not your home, but on computers. 100 marks, 50 marks passing. And the majority thrust is consolidation. Consolidation is of different types. Acquisition, goodwill calculation, you name it. Cross currency, multiple choice, multiple countries, subsidiary plus associate, subsidiary, then intercompany holdings. All those confusions, if you are good at, yes. In fact, I remember we had one Rajiv Raman student in 2011 who was CA with 3 years experience and CA with 6 years experience and was drawing 14 lakhs in India. And he shifted to deep IFRS and got 30 lakhs package. Nirmala is asking objective questions or practical questions. Now the answer is very funny. I would like to explain you that You should always learn to have 4 types of papers. 4 types. Any question exam is there 4 types. One is theory. For example, in accounting, they can ask you what is human resource accounting, etc. Or in finance management, they will ask you what is NPV IRR. In costing, they will ask you what is marginal costing. This exam is not like that because theory requires mugging up and they don't like that. Second is practical. That is giving you a long consolidation or long revenue example and you keep on solving. It is more of your calculator ability. This exam is not like that. Third is objective MCQ. This exam is not like that. It becomes a gamble. And fourth variety is analytical case studies. Analytical case studies. Analytical case studies does have calculation, but the calculations are limited. More it is the conceptual testing. So this exam is primarily this. Is that clear, Nirmala? So that is the beauty of it. Because of that, you are able to understand what's really happening. Is that clear, Nirmala? Yes, Vaishali.
My question is, I have recently passed the valuation exam. How similar or how it will help in this IFRS diploma? Whether it will help?
See, you know that in valuation exam, there are 4 standards. And the most critical standards in valuation exam are consolidation and financial instruments. Now today, if you are practicing as a valuer, in fact, I'll tell you most of my valuation assignments are coming along with the in-days implementations. So you should, instead of doing the tax practice or standard bank audit practice, you should do cream practice by having in-days and IFRS qualification along with valuation, then you will have a double practice. So the qualification will certainly matter.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
I also provide the facility for youngsters to put my name in order to improve their brand. Yes, please ask. Yes, are there any queries?
Hello, sir.
Yes.
I'm Shreyas.
Yes,
I want to ask that I am in accounting advisory, but I am not interested in other statutory audit in India and IFRS.
That's okay, no? See, first make decision, do you want to be in job or in practice? Practice means consulting. What is your decision?
Job, sir.
Job. So in case of a job, you don't go to big fours so that you don't have to do statutory audits. Go to the industry or go to KPOs where you do accounting advisory per se.
Okay, sir. Okay.
You will face the auditors and handle them by explaining them the depth of the provisions.
Actually, sir, I want to do means consulting in accounting, like implementation of Ind AS and IFRS. For those like currently they are not applicable now, but they will be applicable in future.
That's true. That's true.
Sir, how this diploma add value to someone who is doing internal audit?
Doing what?
Who is a chartered accountant doing internal audit?
Yeah. See, first of all, if you are a chartered accountant doing internal audit, the scope of our Ind AS and IFRS is remove the window dressing in the balance sheet and P&L. And most of the manipulations done in accounting have to be found by the internal auditor, because the manipulation gets generated at the document level or the contract level. So if you study those contract levels and find the reality behind that contract, then you will realize how to find the frauds or how to find the leakages. And that's where internal audit has a very close and very high need of knowing IFRS and Ind AS. Are you clear, my dear friend?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
So one more question. My friend was planning to do ACCA course. So will that be redundant if someone is really interested in financial reporting and who is a chartered accountant? Will this diploma in IFRS suffice, or does he have to do ACCA? What would you suggest?
Qualification.
A chartered accountant.
What? No need to do ACCA. See, the jobs on DIP IFRS and jobs due to ACCA, all the jobs are in IFRS only. So the remaining subjects of ACCA have no much relevance, at least in India. Okay. Then, if he is already a CA, see, based on DIP IFR, in the long term, you cannot become CFO. So if you are CA already, then CA plus DIP IFR anyway will take you to CFO. If somebody is not a CA, so I will recommend for every CA only DIP IFRS. And for every non-CA, I will recommend him to quickly grab DIP IFRS in 6 months' time, and over the next 3 years, he should do full ACCA so that he can reach greater heights. Because ACCA in most of the industries treated at par with CA. But for a CA, there is no need to do ACCA. Because the job, I mean, we are in India, what are you going to get by learning the Europe taxation? Nothing.
Exactly, sir.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
Right. Yes, anybody else, please? Please ask.
Sir, I have a question. Sir, what is the scope of DIP IFR in Oman? And I've only have the tax background in India as a chartered accountant.
Can you please repeat, madam?
Sir, what is the scope of doing this course? I'm currently in Oman, and I have only tax background as a chartered accountant in India.
See, the point is, Oman follows IFRS. Now, I believe you are a CA. By
Yes,
going there, and if you're not knowing the IFRS, then the number of jobs in Oman for Indians are very limited, because your tax background is Indian income tax, to my understanding.
yes.
So, therefore, many of the jobs are not open for you at all. I will give you an example. I have been to Oman 2 or 3 times when I was in Gammon, India, and we had done the water pipeline project there. The person whom we had to appoint was a person knowing IFRS. And even KPMG or Big Fours, KPMG was our auditor in Oman when I was in Gammon, India. All the Big Fours are taking only IFRS people. And as far as the local tax is concerned, there is hardly anything in Oman. So doing, and I have many alumni in Oman. They will also help you if you are doing IFRS.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir. All right. So while waiting for the next query, I wanted to ask how many of you are not from Mumbai? Anybody who is not from Mumbai here?
Hello,
Sir, I am
sir.
from Nashik.
You're from Nasik, Adarsh. Okay.
No, sir. Others, I am from Noida, basically, NCR.
From Noida. Okay, okay.
So,
I
sir,
am from Nasik. Sir.
I have a query also. Can I ask?
Yes.
So, sir, basically, my question is, since I am in a job, so how much time, like dedicated time, required to clear this particular course? And like, I am in the finance and accounts background, so how can I, like, after doing this course, can switch to the advisory field?
So you're asking how many hours study you need?
Yes. Basically, being in the finance and accounts role, like normally the office hours stretched, so it is around, like, I am in a listed company, so like the fourth quarter audits are going on, so on those times also we have some stretch hours, so
I
that
will
is why.
you. Are you a CA?
Yep. Yes.
So I'll write here CA and non-CA. Okay.
Okay.
Browsing of our lectures. You will need around twice. So 90 hours. I'm talking in hours. Okay. And this person will require 150 hours. Then reading and understanding my PPTs and matching them with the conceptual understanding, I would say 20 hours, 50 hours. And solving past papers. This is all on higher side, on higher side. You don't need, you can discount it by 50%. I have CAs who have just done one browsing and attended the exam and they have, but this is on the highest side.
Okay.
Okay. So these past papers are around 10 papers if you solve in 6 hours each. Well, 3 hours to solve, 3 hours to get it checked from myself, or you yourself check with the suggested answer. And here perhaps the people who are non-CS need a little more time. So I'll put 90 hours because they will have to ask me queries. So 170 hours. And here it is 290 hours. This is maximum. So now the June exam is how many days away? June exam is, I think, on 10th June. So you have 30 days of April, 30 days of May, 10 days of June, and if you register now, more or less the March is gone. So you have 70 days. 70 divided by 170 divided by 170 means 3 hours per day. And this is 5 hours per day or 4 hours per day. This is 2.5 hours per day. Or you can say per week, because weekend we get some time. So 28 hours per week, and this is 2.5 hours, 18 hours per week. Per week. If you can spare that much, otherwise start the course now and appear in December.
Okay.
Okay. Now let me explain you our fees. Our fees are 15,500. Okay. Then if you join through us, your registration fee is 3,000. Your exam fee is 12,500. If you don't do our course, then this is 9,500. This is 12,000. Okay. But here my result had been 90%. And then you get placement assistance. If you decide to do directly, feel free. If you're very good, yes, maybe you will still crack the interview. But this big saving 6,500 in registration fee is also a major attraction for us. Plus placement fees, plus you will learn. You know, my students always say, not only I passed the exam, but I learned how to convert Indian accounts into Ind AS accounts or IFRS accounts. Whereas those who pass the exam just like that, they are going more by mugging up the past papers or by practice. So unless you understand in practical aspects, till then you can't really. Is that clear in terms of this thing, number of hours?
Yep, sir. Yes, sir.
I'm having a very clear table so that you don't have to be saying, ki, what is this?
Correct, correct.
Yes, anybody else, please? Ask as many queries. And I have no time limit.
Sir, I have a query.
Yes.
Don't Big Four don't hire for accounting advisory?
They do have, but of late what happened was that the accounting advisory at one time used to be having a lot of vacancies. But once IFRS was stabilized, they made it compulsory for the people who are doing statutory audit itself to do the backup work also. So now gradually it got attached to statutory department. So the separate accounting advisory department was gradually dismantled. It was kept initially for 4 or 5 years. Because Ind AS came in 2015, IFRS came in 2000, around 10 in India. So I would say they, by and large, have wound up those departments in 18, 19. They have a department, not that.
Okay, sir. Okay, thank you.
Yeah, because I don't want to give you a false picture. I remember in 15, 16, I have placed many of my students in accounting advisory. You can ask Diksha Goyal from Pune, who left the job with Cognizant and joined Ernst & Young in accounting advisory. Or Shweta Sukhija, she joined KPMG accounting advisory. And today in 8 years time, she is the associate director working in Switzerland. Madhura Lele did IFRS course, joined Credit Suisse Pune, and then she was sent to Switzerland. Deepak was sent to Switzerland. Forum was sent to Bermuda. Vidhi went to London. Ravindran went to Ireland. Dubai, I have a big gang of 15 people who have done IFRS and gone there. Canada, I have 10 students. US, I have 9 students. Yes. And Rashi and others, my colleagues, if they are here, please put some of the YouTube webinars of the interviews of the students on mentoringfinance.com. Yes, any other questions? So I'm seeing other share. Thank you, Rachana. Thank you, Ambrish. Thank you, Vijay. Thank you, Vikram. Thank you, Binal. Do you have any question? Vishnu. Thank you, Darshini. Thank you, Kiran Rege sir. Thank you, Manish. Thank you for coming. Monica. We know each other very well. Then Prasad sir, Nirmala. Nirmala is very. I would say she's my GMCA student long back. And Pallavi, of course, Lucknow, right? Pallavi? Pallavi, are you from Lucknow? Rajesh, Sangeeta, Shreyas, Vaishali. Okay, Vaishali, are you Patrikar, Vaishali?
Yes, sir. Yes, yes.
Good. So thank you to all. And I'm winding up since I think there are no queries. Let me see the chat box. Because some people like to write the query. Yeah, everybody is thanking. So namaste, welcome. If somebody wanted Oman links, always contact me because I have a lot of students there. So best wishes to all of you. Join the course as early as possible because if you join now, you get 470 days access. It means that this June exam, December exam, and the next June exam, but you may not require that much because you will pass before that. All right, goodbye. I'm closing the lecture. You can all log out. Thank you. And this lecture, please, Rashi and Kinjal and Pooja and Siddhi, put this on the YouTube, our site. and send the link to the group. So please do not leave the WhatsApp group where you have been added, and you can always pass on the link to your friend. Any of your friends are there, please tell them to go through this recording, tell them to contact me for any guidance required. Thank you and bye bye.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, bye bye.
Bye-bye.
Then